All right, trying something new. I am here to share inspiration for the full moon in Leo, which is also the first full moon of 2021. Thank you for joining me today. And we are going to go through with some encouraging messages, some oracle. I'm going to share the Sabian symbol for this particular full moon in Leo. And so enjoy and let's go for a ride. I drew an anchor card after I meditated upon this particular full moon, and I'm not a traditional tarot. I'm actually more drawn to oracle, but I wanted to share this. And the overall message that we have for this Leo full moon is the Chariot card. And it is represented here by the Cancer sign, which is very intuitive, very nurturing. This is somebody that no matter what kind of physical roadblocks comes forward, they just keep charging ahead regardless of all of the obstacles that we experience in our lives. And so the Chariot card is the overall energy, which I find to be beautiful because the moon will be in Cancer just prior to this full moon in Leo that is taking place on January 28th, 2021 at 2:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so getting in tune, I feel like this is going to be a very charged emotional buildup coming to the Leo new moon, full moon, sorry. But I think that when we are in harmony with our emotions and we embrace all of them and we learn to nurture ourselves, it gives us the strength of the heart to keep charging ahead, like this Chariot card says. So this is from my Celestial Tarot, and that is the overall message to begin this. So I pulled the chart up here, and we have the Sun in Aquarius at 9 degrees. That is is in Aquarius, illuminating the moon, full moon in Leo, and they are both at like 9 degrees 6 minutes. So the Aquarian energy to me is the collective, the all, and it's also in square with Saturn and Jupiter, just, 5 degrees apart here. So it's in square with this collective energy of Saturn, say the structures, the very earth, tangible things that we're all experiencing. And then it's also this expansive energy right there with the sun in between Saturn, the father archetype, the leader archetype, and then Jupiter expansion. And it's illuminating and it's pointing to this full moon and asking us what's in our heart. Are we righteous in our heart? It's the internal dialogue that we have with ourselves. And it's in a T square with Uranus, Mars, and Lilith at this time. And so it's really wanting us to go, I know what we've all been through, but where are you in your heart? What changes and roadblocks are you removing so that you can shine your authenticity? So to me, it's really a highlight on this Leo full moon of, are you in your heart space? How are you going to take that position in the world, being righteous in your own heart? Meaning, are you in integrity? Are you doing things that you love? The Leo is ruled by the 5th house, so that's our joy, that's our life force energy, that is children, their innocence that brings us joy and makes us feel good about being around them. Whatever it is that brings you joy, illuminated by that sun in Aquarius of the collective. How are we going to do this? Are you in your heart space now? What changes are you going to make with this square? But the black moon Lilith there with Mars and Uranus in this T square with this full moon. Lilith is the dark hidden things. And so with this full moon charge, it could be very intense. Like I said, with the moon moving through Cancer into Leo, And so really, what changes are we going to make? Do we need to be more in our heart space to take that out to the world? It's kind of going hand in hand with my last video, ironically. No coincidence. So we're just seeing so many things highlighted in that collective energy of the Aquarian energy. And this full moon in Leo is asking us, are you righteous in your heart? Are you in integrity? On the lower aspect of Leo, it can be not fulfilling your needs, needing attention from those in the world in order to feel self-validated. And I feel like this energy is wanting us to self-validate ourselves, to feel that worthiness of righteousness in our hearts, and not allowing any of the resistance of the physical to block us, to keep trusting your gut and your intuition with this Chariot card and nurturing yourself no matter what obstacles that we have before us. And so Mercury is going to be going retrograde shortly. I think it's in its shadow phase too as well. So with all that Aquarian energy being fixed energy, Mercury, Jupiter, the sun in between Jupiter and Saturn, and then Venus will be moving also into Aquarius. A lot of pushing us into our hearts right now, wanting us to be in integrity, be authentic, so that we can take that forward in this new wave of Aquarian energy. And so pay attention to that. So before I came on, I was meditating about this full moon and what I needed to share today. And the crazy thing is what came up to me is, so the sun is our vitality. Anybody knows that if you're out in the sun, it makes you feel more energy and makes you have a vitality about you. It brings joy to feel that revitalization of the sun. And so we've been told to block it. We've been told to put sunblock on our biggest organ. And if you read most of the sunblock, it's full of chemicals. So why that came up to me to share right now, I don't know. But when I sat still and was listening, it was like, well, yeah, and they've told you how bad the sun is for you when actually there would be no life if there's no sun. So just wanted to share that with you guys. So I'll get into the Sabian symbol before we do some more cards. But before I do, I wanted to share with you that Leo rules the heart, and that's where our righteousness comes from. So being courageous in our hearts, being righteous in our hearts, being true to you, also nurturing yourself. I'm a huge advocate for sharing that here on my channel because I have a clear understanding of what it was when I didn't truly love myself. And now the transformation of, oh, I actually do deserve love and I have to validate myself. So trusting your intuition as well and feeling this buildup of, emotions could be quite heightened since the moon will move from Cancer, the water sign, into Leo for the 28th. So it rules the heart, and truly, that is what really matters. It also rules blood circulation, blood pressure, and your heart rate. So pay attention at this time. I've experienced this already of what your blood pressure is, of your circulation that's happening with your heart being involved, obviously, and your heart rate. And there's natural ways for you to balance that out and bring that down and have it in a healthy manner. So really, breath work is one of them. Grounding. Today the sun shined in my state, so I actually went out in the snowbank and sat down and just faced the sun. I pulled my hat up so it could hit me in my third eye and just breathe. And I could feel literally the soothing of my whole body, not just my nervous system, but my whole body. And so that is truly a great message that actually came through to me, because I'm not saying people should go out and get completely fried and over fried in the sun, but don't hide yourself from it. It is our life force energy. It's our vitality. You feel more joy within yourself. And that's why the sunstone was drawn to me today. So let's sit here and do the Sabian symbol. And the Sabian symbol for this full moon in Leo on the 28th at 2:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The key word is rejuvenation. A new and better day. This symbol speaks to the invigorating and refreshing energy and the enthusiasm that accompany any renewal of effort or a new cycle of experience, and to the cosmic assistance given to all worthwhile the struggle. So God knows that we've all kind of feel like we've all been put through the ringer in 2020. And so this full moon can be a culmination of us that have done our inner work of allowing it to rejuvenate us and make us feel a vitality of within ourselves. That's huge. These Sabian symbols are awesome. So the image of the early morning dew alludes to the dawning of a new day and a fresh start. The dew that magically appears on the cold surface of the earth sometimes during the night is actually the condensation of the previous day's warm atmospheric pressure, and its effect is to freshen and revitalize the fields and the flowers. Implicit in this beautiful image is the idea that nature is a blessing of man's effort. This symbol also alludes to the fact that an individual often receives the help he needs when he is facing the darkest moments of his soul. Wow. The seeker must learn to expect the unexpected. Now, that's huge with this being in a T-square with Uranus, Mars, and also Black Moon Lilith in that fixed Earth sign. So that is the unexpected. Be open to that. The emphasis in this degree is on the cosmic sustainment and the refusal to recognize personal limitation. That goes perfect with the Chariot card of no matter what comes in at us in the physical, to trust our gut, to trust our intuition, to love ourselves, and to keep charging forward like this Chariot card, right? God, I love that. There is no coincidence in spirit. The emphasis in this degree is on cosmic sustenance and the refusal to recognize personal limitation. The positive side of this is at its highest, the symbol represents a gift of finding the opportunity in every situation. On the lower, on the negative, tendency to keep putting off decisions and action until it's too late, and the inability to recognize the strength that lies within you. Be sure of yourself. Be righteous in your heart. No matter what obstacle comes through you, like it mentioned here in the Dark Night of the Soul, this is the rejuvenation time. This is the time to take the yesterday's condensation, so to speak, the dew, and allow it to nurture you of the things that you've experienced. I love that. So the ascent is on faith in the guardian angels. You may receive unexpected help or be given a fresh start today. Expect miracles. The opportunity with this full moon in Leo is your greatest advantage lies in refusing to acknowledge defeat. Try to look at the bright side of the situation and see what tomorrow brings. So it's an optimism, which is perfect because the sun, my computer keeps going to sleep, because the sun is right there in between Saturn, limitations, karma, authority. There's the sun, there's Jupiter, and optimism, expansion, the benefic planet, right? So that's perfect with this because your greatest advantage lies in refusing to acknowledge defeat. No matter if you feel defeated, Still have a spark of optimism within yourself as a spiritual being. Try to look at the bright side of the situation and see what tomorrow brings. So have an optimism. The risk with this full moon energy in Leo is guard against losing hope or giving up too soon. Avoid thinking in terms of limitation or lack. Don't create a self-fulfilling prophecy. So speak good things to yourself. Don't speak negative, defeating dialogue to yourself. Have an optimism about you. The stepping stones with this full moon in Leo are rejuvenation, renewal, revival, restoration, revitalization, invigoration, stimulation, energy, strength, refreshment, support, blessings, favor, grace, fresh start, and purity. That is what the sun brings us, and it represents such a beautiful energy of the heart. When we're righteous in our heart, meaning you're authentic. It's our life force energy. Without the sun, we don't have life at all. It's what brings us joy. It's the innocence within us, but it's also the courageousness within our hearts. And I love it with the chariot, right? With the horse, the chariot going forward. And so I just love that energy. And I want to say, keep nurturing yourselves and have an optimism, even though whatever that T-square is bringing up within you, any of the fixed signs are going to feel this even more significantly. So it depends on, I don't have your chart, so I can't say, but everybody has all planets and 12 houses. So that is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. Could be feeling the intensity of this full moon the most, but for me, I know my moon is in Taurus, my Venus is in Leo, so without a chart you can't really say, but the fixed signs will feel the intensity of this the most. And the fixed signs are the ones also that need to learn to surrender more often, so that you're open to changes and shifts, especially with this square energy as it continues. So yeah, let's do some more cards. I think we'll go with the chakra card first. I call upon the divine, I call upon the light, I call upon the Holy Spirit to guide me, to work through me, and to share with people who come in to listen, to encourage them, uplift them, push them towards their joy, push them towards their hearts, encourage them to be authentic. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. So it's asking us to focus on our heart, be righteous in our heart. And we have that sun illuminating from that, that's the whole, the Aquarian energies, the whole, the collective consciousness. Don't be swayed don't lose faith, don't lose your joy because of whatever obstacles in the physical come about for us all. Tether to the divine, keep charging forward like the chariot message, and see what it is within you that does bring you joy, because that could be the offering to the world that you want to take out there for all to see. That's what this channel is for me. It brings me joy. I love doing my cards. I love learning and sharing astrology. Isolation, throat chakra. A lot of us have been feeling this isolated energy, especially after 2020. But have you used that time to do your inner work? Have you got in your heart to see what really truly brings you joy? Because I know the outer world of the past, right? Especially with 2020, we had that stellium of 3 in Capricorn of the structures and the dismantling and the tower moments and the CV thing and being forced to go into isolation. In the higher perspective of that, it has a blessing side of it, to where you should have been taking that time to do your work, your internal work, right? To not be so triggered by the world and the events that are happening. And with it being the throat chakra, speaking your truth from a heart-centered space, shedding the thoughts that, oh man, we're put into isolation, I feel so lonely. No, flip the script of that. Have an optimism about you. If you haven't started that work in your alone time thus far, which I feel like a lot of us have, because we're seeing more and more people waking up. And so that might have been forced upon us. But I tell you what, it was for the benefit of the collective, and it may have backfired on the authority top-down structure that was, trying to separate, divide, and conquer humanity. In fact, I know it has, because light always prevails. If you're feeling isolated, do not give up hope. Just like the Sabian symbol talked about, a new day dawning with that fresh morning dew, giving yourself the opportunity to shed the clothes, shed the old you of yesterday, and have a rejuvenation within yourself. So I love that chakra card. I'm going to use my new deck, Sacred Rebel, and I just love this card deck so far. I'm brand new. I just got it. This Leo full moon energy. The lion, the Leo, in harmony can just bring that uniqueness. They have a leadership aspect about them. And I just shared in my last video about needing people to, we got the King of Wands with that, I think it was, and people needing to get in their heart and space and take their leadership roles right now. And so this is kind of piggyback in that last message. The name of that one is Old Souls Are Feeling the Energy Shifts. If you're interested in that, check that video out. It was pretty good. It was pretty led by spirit for me to just get on and start sharing with people. So what else for this Leo full moon? Again, it's happening 9 degrees, 6 minutes. So find in your birth chart, if you have it, any of the fixed signs, about 5 to 13 degrees of any planet placement there, because that will have the biggest influence. It's hitting my moon. So I think I have a 9-degree birth natal moon in Taurus. So my emotions may be pretty, and that's okay. I'm used to every emotion under the sun. So after the storm, we got card number 1. Wow, this is beautiful. This is at night with an owl, because they are nocturnal. So illuminated the moon, right? The sun shines upon this full moon in Leo. After the storm, this is your wisdom with the owl. This is yourself being all-seeing, because you're in your heart space. And if you're being all-seeing right now, you guys can see through the shit show that's happening in the third density. This is taking your wisdom, your knowledge, that is not something that you learn from a book. It's from the experiences that we've all been through. And taking that wisdom and knowledge, feeling that calm after the storm, even if you're feeling like you're still in it right now. But after the storm, after the dark night of the soul, comes so much wisdom and knowledge. Oh my God, I love this card so much. And allowing that joy to flourish within you. Allow yourself the joy, the wisdom, the knowledge. And it's definitely illuminated with this full moon right here. So a culmination of the things that you have learned and you're here to bring it after the storm. We've all been through storms, right? Just know that on your darkest days, there's always better days ahead. Have that optimism within you. Let's draw another one from that deck. Card number 1. After the storm, a new you. Allow that wisdom and knowledge to carry you. I have owls here, and I just love listening to them when they start talking at night. It's just beautiful. Something sacred about it. Seeing the true you. It's all about your unique expression going into the Aquarian age, to where we are coming out of the boxes of what people intentionally or unintentionally have wanted us to be. It's about dropping all the facades, all the layers of the things, the false identities that we've accumulated because of other people's expectations. It's wanting us in the Aquarian energy to bring forth our unique expression, and wants you to really see the true you, which is vulnerable, which is worthy of good things, and not dimming your damn light for anybody. God, is that perfect or what? Look into the mirror and tell yourself that you love you. Not in an ego way, in a heart-centered way. I tell you what, Matt Kahn taught me those. I was very uncomfortable doing the I love you affirmations at first, and now it's just like such a powerful, wonderful thing to bring forth your authentic self. And many of us collectively we've used that quote isolation time of 2020 to get really real and raw with ourselves. And I'm not going to be this person society wanted me to be. I'm going to be my true self. I'm not going to be concerned about being persecuted or slandered or not fitting into the society box. Thank God we don't. And I'm going to utilize everything that I've experienced in this life cycle to share my wisdom, to share the knowledge that I've gained by being an overcomer, by being a spiritual badass, charging forward, sharing with the collective, which is so perfect because the Aquarian energy is the water bearer. It's the sharing of information. It's the sharing of knowledge. It's the sharing of the wisdom that we've gained experiences through this life and how you've overcome things. And that is a gift to the world. This is a new deck to me, and I absolutely love it. Let's do another one from the Black Moon Oracle, I do believe, to go along with this message for the full moon in Leo. My wild ass hair today. That charging forward with the Chariot energy and not being concerned of the physical obstacles is exactly the growth that we experience here on this earth plane. And man, the knowledge that you can gain by doing that, is sacred. It's almost like it gives permission for other people to start doing their inner work if they haven't already. The path. Card number 8. It's never too late to get on the path. This is like seeing that ladder climb up to that window, that opportunity. It's like the things that we've walked through on the path of having this human experience. Like I said with this card, gaining the wisdom and sharing that illumination energy that really has a true vitality within you, which is you having to be self-realized of knowing who you are and taking this path and this life experience, no matter what obstacles come about. Always embrace the feelings that you have, the journey the things that you've been through, the things you've overcame, and have a gratitude. Have a gratitude for the experiences, not of the bad or negative or hurtful things that have happened, but the wisdom that you've gained. And now is the time to get on the path, if you haven't already. Just listen to your heart and soul. Maybe you don't know what your path is right now. But if you be still and listen, I guarantee you, you will get on your path. That's how astrology and doing these cards came about for me. Like, if you would have asked me, 10 years ago, what I'd be doing today, I would have been like, really cool, awesome. I've always been drawn to astrology, but then I just started, researching and educating myself, and I'm going to be a student of life on this path to the day that I shed this body and it goes back to earth and my spirit returns to source, because this path, no matter how difficult it is for each one of us, is a journey. It's a journey to the stars. We're cosmic. We're stardust. So step out on that path of independence and be that little frickin' rebel that you are, meaning society's wanted to put me in a box. I'm breaking out of that. I'm bringing forth the new me in my unique expression. And with that sun in Aquarius illuminating this full moon in Leo, I'm going to use this time to really be in my heart space. And that's what I'm going to take forward with the sun shining in Aquarius for the collective energy of here I am. And I guarantee you, you will find your tribe. Starts out small. We're all leaving behind a legacy. What is it that you would like to leave behind? Have no regrets. Step forward on that path. Always climbing higher and having a higher I don't want to say expectation. Having a higher vision for yourself. Be the dreamer. I'm a dreamer. I know I'm not the only one. You're not the only one. So I think that's it for this full moon in Leo. Anything else I wanted to share? That's funny that I think it's been 2 weeks ago now that I was really having a difficult time and having a lot of anxiety and heart palpitations. And I remember just praying out to the God, the creator of the universe, like, I need help. This is getting too intense with me being an empath. I feel all these energetic shifts, right? And the word that came up to me was resistance. And I'm like, I don't know what else I'm resisting. Now, resistance of not allowing any of the obstacles in this physical world create roadblocks for you. We can take those roadblocks, move them to the side, learn from the experiences of the roadblocks, keep journeying down on our path, and really taking that knowledge and that wisdom. I freaking love this card so much. I love owls anyway. Being able to feel that rejuvenation, like I shared with the Sabian symbol, of feeling like, well, yeah, we just all been through a lot of fucking shit and intensity in Capricorn in 2020 that has not lightened up yet. Still at this point in January of 2021. But you know what? The obstacles in the physical are not going to stop me. I'm going to be uniquely me. I'm going to keep walking my path, and I'm going to keep feeling the energy of the chariot to where I'm blazing forward. I'm in tune with myself. I'm a spiritual badass, and there's other dreamers out there just like you and I. So I think that's it for us. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new today, subscribe, give me a like, hit the bell for notifications. Go check out the other content, and I believe Spirit's driving me as long as I stay in balance and harmony as I am right now. I believe that I am going to be putting up all 12 zodiac signs, maybe some 3-card choices here in the near future, so watch for those as well. I have a very blessed full moon in Leo. Take good care of yourself. Shalom.